All right, guys, welcome to First and Goal. I'm your host, Flavo Oriana, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. All right, guys, so, man, oh man, I hate when people lose their jobs, especially when they don't deserve it, okay? For Brian Flores, the Miami Dolphins ended up releasing him, all right? They ended up firing him, I'm sorry. The man was 24 and 25 in 3 seasons, and honestly, he was, in my opinion, one of the best Belichick disciples that have come out from the Belichick tree. And I was very, very confused as for why he ended up getting fired. I mean, the guy, won his first game of the season. I believe it was against the Patriots, and then lost 7 straight, and then won 7 straight, and then losing in week 17, and then winning in week 18. So winning 8 of his last 9. And still, that wasn't enough. And it was very confusing. But then, man, the tables had turned. And then I'm thinking to myself, I was like, what's going on with the Giants? How come they haven't fired Joe Judge? And then they ended up firing Joe Judge yesterday in the afternoon. And after he met with Steven Tisch and John Mara. And I guess they finally came to the senses. And then after that buffoon, that is Dave Gettleman, okay, Mr. Gettleman. Glad he retired. I honestly think they should have just fired him and have that labeled on him. Guess Joe Judge is officially fired, okay? Why did I start off the video with Brian Flores? And I'll get to that in just a minute, because this video is about Joe Judge and why he deserved to have been fired, right? I was one of those people that in year 1, I was okay with Joe Judge. And he only coached the Giants for 2 seasons. The man in year 1 was 6-10, had the ability to take the Giants into the playoffs. As pathetic as a 6-10 record is, yes, the Giants were, potentially going to make the playoffs, but we all knew what happened in week 17 between the Redskins and the Eagles. Man, oh man. I mean, I don't want to talk about it, but yeah, that's what ended up happening and allowing the Redskins the Washington football team to move on to the playoffs. And then you saw what Washington did against Tampa. It was a very close game. Yada, yada, yada. The rest. Tampa ended up winning the Super Bowl. But the Giants, going into year 2, it was supposed to be an improvement year, okay? You have Daniel Jones going into year 3. You have Saquon going into year 4. You're supposed to at least know what you're going to end up getting from your quarterback, from your running back. You already have put good money into Kenny Golladay, okay? What ends up happening is, the whole year Kenny Golladay doesn't catch a touchdown, okay? You spend what over $70 million. It's not able to catch a touchdown. I understand you lose Blake Martinez in game 2 or game 3 of the season, tearing his ACL. Completely understand that, okay? But the Giants looked like they were regressing, okay? And they were regressing bad. They put a lot of fight in year 1, okay? They had the biggest upset, having, Colt McCoy behind center, leading the Giants in Seattle in lead to a victory, all right? In Seattle, of all places, in Seattle. And that's that Seattle wasn't like no scrub of a team, okay? And then going into year 2, you're thinking that you're going to be able to progress. A lot of people were picking the Giants to win the division, okay? They were picking the Giants to maybe go 9-8 at best. At best, maybe 10-7, and then maybe at worst, you're going to end up getting to being, 7-10, okay? But at least they were having these predictions, and then they look horrible for the most part. In a lot of the games, they look good. I mean, They looked decent in that first Washington game, but then outside of that, I mean, they got lucky on a couple of games. They didn't look so great in others. They were getting embarrassed in the last 3 games of the season after ownership came out and said that we were going to retain Joe Judge. But what ends up happening? After that ends up happening, I felt like Joe Judge kind of shot himself in his foot, and he was kind of asking to be fired, which is something that I did not really expect to see. And Joe Judge was pretty, with his ranting, making fun of the Washington football team because they got blown out by Dallas, okay? And you have Payne and you have Jonathan Allen punching each other, getting into a scuffle, and then you're making fun of them, calling them a clown franchise. But yet, the way that he was handling the Giants in these last 2 years didn't show anything of inept or anything that we are, a prestigious, franchise. We were regressing. You had the other team that plays in your stadium, the New York Jets, who are, progressing. Okay, you have a rookie quarterback in Zach Wilson, a rookie head coach in Robert Saleh, and yet they are playing hard for their coach. I didn't really see throughout the season that the Giants were really playing hard. I know you had Daniel Jones injured, but you know what? That doesn't make any type of excuse, because the Giants really never made an attempt to really put forward, a good backup quarterback. I mean, they have Mike Lennon of all people and Jake from State Farm, trying to actually, quarterback, not the actual Jake from State Farm, but actual Jake from, who used to play for the University of Georgia. And congratulations to the University of Georgia for winning the national championship over Alabama. But yeah, I mean, Joe Judge never really put any type of motivation. I felt like he never instilled any type of. I felt like he was trying to instill more fear than anything else. I feel like he was trying to carry over the Belichick way, and I feel like any time a coach tries to carry that Belichick way and they try to enforce it without having no credible backbone, it always backfires. You saw it with John McDaniels. You saw it with Matt Patricia. Okay, you saw it kind of with that I forgot, it wasn't Romeo Cornell, but it was Bill O'Brien. Okay, who used to head coach the Houston Texans. It's never panned out, and I don't think it will pan out. Now, I mentioned Brian Flores earlier in the video. Okay, now Brian Flores got let go by the Miami Dolphins. Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, wants to improve significantly. Okay. I feel like he feels like his franchise is going to be able to excel, and he feels like Brian Flores is not the right person for the job. I think he's highly wrong. I think he's highly stupid for letting go of Brian Flores. Right now, currently, as we're speaking, he is interviewing right now for the head coaching position for the Chicago Bears. But I'm telling you right now, if the Giants find a way, to at least get an interview with him, and then after that, snag him up, making sure he doesn't leave MetLife Stadium until he signs the contract, I'm telling you right now that he will be a way better coach. He will have, more command of the locker room. He will have a lot more people on that roster respecting him than Joe Judge. And I don't think that the worst that I think Brian Flores would be able to do as a potential candidate for a head coaching position for the New York Giants, I think the worst that he'll be able to do is 6-10 or 6-11. I don't think that Brian Flores will carry on the same mistakes that Joe Judge has did. You saw what Brian Flores was able to do in Miami. The man was able to defeat Bill Belichick in the 6 meetings he ended up having. He ended up defeating him 4 times. All right, which is incredible. You don't see numbers like that against Bill Belichick. How he has one coach that's able to dominate him or defeat him in multiple occasions. Okay, and still have a number over him. I think Brian Flores is the perfect perfect coach for the job. My question is, will they hire Brian Flores? Will they hire a head coach before they hire a GM? Remember, Dave Gettleman is gone. They need a GM. Me personally, I think that the Giants should make a call to Louis Riddick for him to interview for the position and hire him and try to snag up Brian Flores as quickly as possible, unless they have some type of plan to try to get Jim Harbaugh out of Michigan. But yeah, guys, that's my take as for First and Goal. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, Joe Judge is officially fired. He is no longer with the team. 2 seasons and he is out. He joins Ben McAdoo, Pat Shurmur in that list in that 6-year span where the Giants have gotten rid of 3 coaches in a 6-year span. All right, guys, until then, I am Flavio Rihanna. Thank you for tuning in to First and Goal. I'll see you guys next time. Please be safe out there and have a good one. Peace, guys. Like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. See you.